I'm from Manhattan, Upper West Side. My friend from first grade through college set me up with Simcha. And that's how we met. It's a blind date.
I was born on a small farm in Connecticut.
Was hard for
and somehow, I married a woman who grew up on Columbus Avenue, and here we are in Teaneck, New Jersey. We have two children, Ayelet and Ariel, both of whom attended Migdalos or Yeshivat Har Etzion.
Rabbi Aaron Ross and Rabbi Avi Schreiber, who had attended Gush, were both Gemara teachers for our children, Ayelet and Ariel. That is really where they first learned about Gush. And these were role models of theirs, and I'm sure the seed was planted in their head that that was a place that they may want to attend in the future.
I just always knew that Gush was the place to be. Gush is the type of learning I want and the people who I look up to in terms of role models. The learning is amazing. Not what I expected at all. There's an added layer of like, how does this connect to me? How is this connecting to me? How is this connecting to my everyday life? And it's sort of bridging that gap between the learning and intellectual pursuit with the spiritual pursuit as well.
We've spent some time in both Migdalos and the yeshiva. One thing that stands out in both institutions is the energy in the Batei Midrash, that people are engaged in their learning, people are asking questions. There are Ramim and others around who are always engaging with their students, even outside the shir context. The students are engaged, they ask questions, they are challenged, all in the spirit of the highest level of Torah learning.
It's great to be back here in the Har Etzion Beit Medrash here in Ariel, our son Ariel's Makom Kvuah, a place where I've spent good quality time learning Torah with him in the Beit Midrash. It's good to be here, experience the warmth of the learning Torah and the Rebbeim here in the Beit Midrash.
Whoever knows the Hochmans know that the big smile on Ayelet's face since the moment she walked into Migdalos until she left, with her spirits, with her spark in the eye, has a direct line to Barbara.
What I really loved about the yeshiva is that I thought my kids were great when they left and they went there. And what I saw was that they were a better version of themselves. They were exposed to many different ideas and they just are open-minded. They are very open to learning new things and to hearing other people's opinions, even if it's different from theirs.
I think I've changed a lot in who I am and what I stand for. I participate in leadership roles, definitely developed a lot more confidence and appreciation of who I've become.
משפחת הוכמן, ברברה ושמחה, קשרו בעצם את גורלם עם הישיבה. ואנחנו גאים בכם כהורים של השנה, כמי שבאמת גם ילדיהם, אריאל ואיילת, שלמדו בישיבה, וממשיכים את דרכה של הישיבה, וממשיכים לנהל ולהיות שותפים בפעילות.
Simcha, as an adult, he became a student of the yeshiva by studying its Torah, by affiliating himself with its ideals, and by appreciating the Rosh Yeshiva who created Yeshivat Har Etzion. And Baruch Hashem, what a nachas it must have been for you to have your daughter Ayelet and your son Ariel study in Migdalos and in the yeshiva.
My parents are the best people I know. They are not just my role models, but they are the trailblazers who have helped me understand what it is to be a Jew and how one should act.
They're definitely my role models and inspiration across the board.
As president of the shul, as someone who's been on the board for so many years, Barbara in her role on the Avelus committee and so many other chesed opportunities. Barbara and her committee take care of everything in that regard.
Barbara, I want to thank you for all the community consciousness that you've taught me. Just our few interactions over the last couple of years, the way you care about institutions, shuls, schools, and now Baruch Hashem, I want to thank you for being involved in advancing our yeshiva.
What most impressed me when I got to know the Hochmans was their devotion and their passion to engage in communal causes, to always be willing to do, to expect of themselves to do rather than to receive.
And I learn a lot from their devotion and involvement in the community. The Hochman family's house is always open for Shabbat Bogrot, for Tish. But Barbara doesn't only host you when you come to Shabbat Bogrot to have a Tish in their house. She's completely involved.
Years before I met Ayelet and Ariel Hochman, I had the pleasure of meeting their parents, Barbara and Simcha, as part of the work that I did as a Yeshivat Har Etzion in the Rinat community in Teaneck. And when I met them there, I saw the dedication and the commitment that they had. They're leaders in their community, not just in their shul, but in the community at large.
We're obviously big supporters of Yeshivat Har Etzion and Migdal Oz and the affiliated institutions, and it's important to support these institutions. These are the institutions that we've seen that inculcate our next leaders.
Yeshivat Har Etzion and the Beit Midrash at Migdal Oz are institutions that are vital to the continuity of religious Zionism and modern Orthodoxy.